said the O-line was good. I said the receivers were good. I'ma fight somebody. Now y'all tell me how damn right I was. I'm old.
All right, it is time for What Does D. Fox Say? I will say something that I think people in general are saying, and we'll see what Dominique Foxworth thinks. Let's start with this. If someone were to say the Vikings defense is going to shut down Aaron Rodgers this weekend, what does D. Fox say?
I'd say they are, and we got the wrong Rodgers in the question. We need to be talking about Isaiah Rodgers, the man who had 3 turnovers and 2 touchdowns at a look at him, at a cornerback. You think you're going to catch this man? No chance. That was his 2nd touchdown. He had a strip fumble for a touchdown. That's the guy, and that's the team that I like in this matchup. As much history as we have with Aaron Rodgers being a successful quarterback, it seems like the recent history is him throwing the ball to the other team. And all the intercepts that he's had so far doesn't account for all the interception-worthy passes that he's thrown. So that was his hallmark. I don't turn the ball over. He's doing it now.
Sneaky, interesting game. Minnesota playing so well with Carson Wentz the other day. Defense obviously had a lot to do with it. We'll see where that goes. Next one. If someone were to say Caleb Williams coming off a nice day against the Cowboys, he can get the Bears to sneak into the playoffs this year, what does D. Fox say?
I'd say sure. Like, I was very high on this team before the season started, and then they had a little rough introduction to the season on offense, but they looked so good. I understand that it was against the Cowboys, but it was also off a game that they lost, but it's a good offensive performance against the Lions. It feels like this offense is coming together. If they can get some consistent performance from that defense, I think they could sneak into a wild card spot.
And maybe the division isn't quite as good as we thought it was. We'll see. Minnesota, at least, maybe you take a step. We'll see Green Bay, bad loss. We'll see what winds up happening. Okay, last one. Talking about the defending Super Bowl champs. If someone said the Eagles' defense is going to cost them a repeat this year, what does D. Fox say?
I'd say slow down. I don't think that defense is still incredibly talented. I feel like Carter's not playing at the highest level that he can right now, and they have talent in the secondary, even though they have some injuries at the corner opposite Mitchell. I think they'll sort these things out. This defense is not as great as it was last year, but I think they can get back to that level by the end of the season. They have good coaching, too. I think this team's going to be fine on that side of the ball.
Yeah, they've won 19 of their last 20 games, so it's hard to find a whole lot of flaw with them, but that does not mean that occasionally people do not. Yeah. Did you hear Drew Brees on First Take yesterday? So Drew has become like a regular contributor now with Stephen A. and company on First Take, and he was on yesterday, and this is what he said about Philadelphia's effective yet unspectacular offense.
I respect Philly. They are winning games. They're finding a way to win games. I can't stand to watch that offense. It's the most boring offense.
Wow. So Drew Brees says the Eagles' offense is boring. Jeff, Saturday, why are you making that face?
I mean, let me just show you my shock face. A quarterback saying that running the ball is not fun to watch. I mean, they have won 19 of 20 games doing it a certain way. And a Super Bowl, by the way, in the mix of all of this. And you're going to go call it boring. I guess winning is boring, but I like watching boring. And I love to watch offensive line play, which is much more impressive to me. And now let's talk about Brees and the Saints, who I lost the Super Bowl to, so I'm still salty about that.
Unbiased
I mean, Sydney slants and check down Charlie. and all this stuff, we just act like we're airing it out. I think they completed like 27 passes against us 2 yards or less. That's the same as running the ball, Drew. Oh, it got me hot, dude. Got me flashing back to my old days and talking trash about the best O-line in the game. No, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean, Drew fell right into the First Take mode. He did. And shot it out there. He's a Super Bowl champ, a Hall of Famer, so he can get away with saying some of the things that other of us have said. The idea that it's boring, I don't think anybody cares about that. I think the real analysis is that they could be blowing teams out, and they're keeping themselves in games that they shouldn't have to because they're not having explosive plays on the ground.
Here's the thing, all right? With all due respect to the esteemed gentleman from the state of North Carolina over there.
Georgia.
Georgia, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever, same southern thing.
New York, and then it's a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. Don't do that.
What? Okay, I'm not going to make any of it.
Good.
Here's what I would say.
Yeah.
They win. No one's taking that away from them. They're great. By far, the most fun I've had watching the Eagles play this year was when they were down 26-7 in the fourth quarter against the Rams, and Jalen Hurts starts flinging it all over the yard, and A.J. Brown is making unbelievable plays. The man has the strongest hands of any receiver I've ever seen, yanking it away from people, bringing it back. Well, just absolutely magnificent. Here's all this stuff. They fall way behind. They can't push.
Shrugging off TV.
Look at A.J. Brown.
Can we just say it's a comeback, Green? This isn't like a complicated. It's just like pitch and catch. They did it over and over and over. It's not like that super sexy scheme football. It is really a run 50 yards, turn around and come back 3. I'm going to put it right here.
In the 50s, it was real sexy if you show some energy. So what they run is a 1950s offense. They throw a little stop route over there. I'm like, oh, I see that ankle, girl. I see that ankle.
I'm going to say this, because Himbo gave me this. And so this is my man. In Philly's 8 of 8 in the red zone, 11 of 12 converting third downs and shorts, flawless, and they all do it without having to risk it. They get the biscuit without having to risk it. When they do have to risk it, it's sexy. But why risk it if you already got the biscuit? That's what they have, Drew. That's what they got.
To be very clear, no one's arguing but how effective it is and that it's working.
That's sexy.
The question is it boring?
Sexy.
I don't know. Do you find it sexy or boring watching the Eagles doing their whatever this offense is?
I like watching people who are good at their job and win. Yes, that's it. And at the end of the day, I will say, here's the issue that I have right now. Because last week we did a whole thing on the tush push. Now it feels like every week there's a referendum on the Eagles and their offense and how they win. And ultimately, why has Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts not just garnered the benefit of the doubt, even when they're down, even when it doesn't look exactly how you want it to? What is their record? I don't understand why we get into this.
They've won 17 straight games that Jalen Hurts has finished, and they're 19-1 in their last 20 games.
Nobody gets the benefit of the doubt. We've been critical of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Everyone is going to get criticized. Once you show us how great you can be in particular, we're going to have that expectation. I think we joke about them being fun, and that's the problem. That's not the problem to me. The problem is this is not the most effective that their offense can be. And they put themselves in closer games than they need to be because they have a ton of talent. They need explosive plays. Last year, they got explosive plays from Saquon Barkley running from 40 yards out the backfield. If he's going to get 2 and 3 yards, you're going to be in tough spots all season long.
I want to see them play the Lions. That's the game I want to see.
Yeah. We'll get Drew on Get Up, too. We'll get Drew on Get Up and Smackdown on too. Come on down, Drew. Come on in here, baby.
We love Drew Brees.
Bring your Super Bowl ring. Bring your Super Bowl ring.
To the monster.
That's hateful.
That is.
You lucky you sitting over there. That's hateful, dog.
To the monster AFC game of this weekend, people. Either the Chiefs or the Ravens are going to go to sleep Sunday night 1-3. Since the two leagues merged in 1970, only 11% of the teams that start 1-3 have made the postseason. Over the last 3 seasons, just one team has done it. So here come the questions. Which of these teams are we worried about? I feel like if there's one advantage I have, I do 5 different shows a week. So I've got 5 different collections of people. So if I were to describe what I think is the general consensus, so the conventional wisdom is the Ravens are going to be fine. We're worried about the Chiefs.
Right.
That could flip in a big hurry if this thing goes that way on Sunday.
The only pushback I would have is, even if the Ravens lost this weekend, I still see them being the favorite to win their division.
Yes.
Whereas I look at the AFC West, and I still think the Chiefs will be fine in this moment. However, their division is a lot tougher to win.